Welcome back, Wolfpack. Verlis here, back on the stream. Ooh, we got an interesting team. Haven't seen the Mimikyu in a while, but Mimikyu's coming back. I do think I might be able to respond to some of the threats. I was gonna say a lot of threats, but most of the threats on the team. Gotta watch out for Zoroark, because Zoroark outplays me every single time. So let's not have that happen. And that's gonna be like, is he gonna go for Zoroark lead? Zoroark disguised as Mimikyu is terrifying. And then as for my team, it's a little bit of old. You know, I'm bringing back Florges, because Florges did some really cool stuff. And it might get a chance if I can stop that Scizor. We have our Hippowdon, because we need a massive defense tank. Mantine, because we're kind of weak to fire, with, like, these guys being mad weak to the fire. And I guess we'll just lead our Superior, and then just go for it. Yeah, Superior has good speed and good damage against a lot of his team. And unless it's just, like, Gliscor Toxic Stall, I think that's all I have to worry about. But yeah, we have another Zoroark, because I don't think around the Zoroark enough. I expect Zoroark to be one thing, then does another, and I give people too much credit, I think. It's like, no. They don't only always lead Zoroark, because that's kind of silly. You gotta bring it in mid-battle when people have really forgotten about it. But that's gonna be Porygon Z, and that's gonna be scary damage already. How to respond to Porygon Z? It depends. Oh, okay, this download gives him special attack. That's extra bad. Can I taunt the Z conversion? I don't think you can taunt the Z move. I haven't been in a Z position before. I don't run the Z moves. I'm expecting Z conversion. Leaf Storm into damage. Or if it's Zoroark, then I might as well just do that. But if it's Zoroark, you might want to go for the Nasty Plot or the Swords Dance as well. And then the other things, I think that's just raw, like, conversion Porygon for the scariness. And then we just hit Leaf Storm. We save that Z power for later. He's going to get speed. I'm going to hit Leaf Storm. Let's do it. So at least to have outspeed and damage on this. Yeah, that hurt a lot. That has to be Zoroark with the amount of damage it took, right? Oh no, Z conversion. Okay. Yeah, and you can't taunt the Z move. That's what I thought. I'm like, I'm pretty sure you can't, but I don't want to make sure you can. But yeah, it just happens, and that's gonna be Z conversion. Okay. I mean, it gains stats. I think like it gains the stats regardless, and then things happen. So that's got that electric typing. So conversion copies the first move. So does that mean at least has Thunderbolt, Conversion, Tri-Attack, Ice Beam, which means Celesteela is not safe. I was wondering about the Flamethrower. And we're gonna see how much damage we can do to him then, and just go for more damage on the Leaf Storm. Yeah, so I think I read the moveset perfectly then. He got that download. He also got the download. I should have remembered the download. I was thinking maybe +1. Superior has that bulk in it, but also at the same time, I don't really have anything that can switch into that. So Celesteela is weak to the Thunderbolt. Sapo gets blown up. I think we just lose, because, like, of that moveset, the Thunderbolt moveset really throws me off right there. Mantine gets bodied. He has +2 on the special attack right now because of that download. Does Florges Calm Mind? Can it? Is the question mark. Calm Mind. Thunderbolt. Oh god, it's too much damage. Nah, we can't. This is the +2. He got that +2 on the, and there goes a very loud ambulance. My goodness, that's a disco of colors and damage. I should have just gone for Moonblast. I should have honestly gone for the tank and then KO. Now that I'm thinking about it, I was hoping the Calm Mind wouldn't be that much damage, but my goodness, Synthesis doesn't matter. None of these things matter. So. Thunderbolt, okay. At least his conversion gives away the Thunderbolt. Celesteela dies. Everyone's dead. Because then we get Hippowdon hit by an Ice Beam. I don't know if I can survive. I don't know what I can survive, but it's not a... I guess I should have had Sandstream up chipping that Porygon down when it has nothing. We land the Earthquake, and then we pray. So I'm defense tank. Yeah. The Porygon Z got it, and it had the coverage to just wipe out my entire team. See, I was expecting all of my weaknesses to be on different Pokemon, not the same Pokemon. There's no way Amoonguss. Nah, it's like nothing can take it. Nothing can take it. This is what it feels like being the other guy in Fan Fridays, apparently. This is why I like Z conversion Porygon Z. Like, it just goes. Oh! No! What? Okay, I learned a lot of things today. One, Amoonguss is the greatest Pokemon of all time. Cause it survived. Like, the only reason I wasn't going into Amoonguss is I was just like, nah, it's going to be a super effective Ice Beam. And I shouldn't be able to survive that. But then I get frozen. So, I mean, okay, a lot of things could have gone different. There were so many, okay. This is mostly a learning experience then. Because for everyone out there, you too can survive a +2 Ice Beam from a Porygon Z if you're an Amoonguss. That's pretty ridiculous. And then, if I didn't get frozen, I had the Spore. That way I could have healed up, done the damage, taken it down. And if I did that properly, then that means I could have only sacrificed the Pokemon I needed to. So with that, you know, it's like I just lose Superior, and then it would have been a 5v5, because Amoonguss can Spore, heal, take down the Porygon Z. Amoonguss is at good health, could switch for the Regenerator into Sapo, Mantine, or Florges, or maybe even Celesteela, depending on the Pokemon. It was doable. It was too little too late. I gave up my 2 main tanks, and then it just got worse from there. Alright, there's Porygon Z with the ×8 Thunderbolt. Oh, if it was at +1, maybe. Because we saw that, we saw the Specs Tauros almost take me down, I was thinking nah, and then it was like nah. It was extra nah on top of nah. And then, maybe if I got the Sandstorm out early, but he wasn't enough health range for the Sandstorm. That's upsetting. Because it was close. I had the wrong idea at the wrong time. And then Celesteela gets... And maybe at +1, Celesteela wouldn't die. Maybe at +1, Celesteela. It's like, I ran into the download. Like, is download RNG? It's kind of RNG. It's kind of random, you know? It could happen. Does my Superior have the same amount of defense and special defense is the question. And then the Z conversion Porygon sweep just completely destroys me. But yeah, I recommend having conversion in the first slot, because then doesn't that mean, like, conversion just fails? And it doesn't matter? So yeah, update on the Porygon Z. In chat, apparently this is what the Porygon Z is running. That's actually pretty crazy. It's the download, but Thunderbolt first was an intentional move. So we're actually talking about this after the battle. He wanted to go Thunderbolt first, that way the conversion would stab into the Thunderbolt. Even though it's a giveaway, one, it'll scare off those Pokemon, so you kind of lose surprise factor, but even then, like, stab +1 Thunderbolt, potentially +2, into something like the Mantine gets shut down, the Toxapex gets shut down, Celesteela gets shut down. So there's a lot of shutdown potential behind this that was being used by just kind of showing the Thunderbolt. And that's kind of one thing you don't really realize on the Porygon Z when they go for that conversion. Like, the Z conversion, for the most part, it's just like into the Tri-Attack, because you understand Porygon Z, it just wants to go for Tri-Attack, maybe a little bit of status, just good reliable damage on top of the +1 into all kinds of things. But maybe that also kind of like shows some other things. Some Porygon, they'll go like Z conversion adaptability into the Tri-Attack, and then they'll want to stay a normal type Pokemon. But with the download, you really have to pay attention to that. I wasn't understanding because I didn't see any of these like Thunderbolt or any of these kind of like other Porygon Zs until that time. So I was like, okay, that makes a lot more sense since we're running like Thunderbolt, or you could go Stab into whatever you want, and then you can kind of change your typing as you need to for also Stab offensive instead of like defensive weirdness right there. So that's actually an interesting like intentional decision right there. And then Thunderbolt Ice Beam apparently just covers enough. I remember doing a video about that, like just Bolt Beam coverage is surprisingly diverse and works against quite a lot. And then apparently just had a last little nasty plot on the end. so you could get even more special attack, just to make sure now that Stab Thunderbolt's going to kill everything. Now that Ice Beam is completely going to wipe out things as well, if they don't have like an immediate threat, because if they go for setup and you're going for conversion, well, now you have +1 to defense and special defense. You're going to be harder to KO. And if you get the right like type coverage change to where now they don't have a good enough response to you for like super effective damage or anything, just kind of come through and get that extra damage, maybe find the nasty plot, or also personal preference, you can do any other typing with any other coverage and still make some magic happen. So that's like fun Porygon Z stuff that I learned after the battle. But yeah, pretty cool, like just Z move diversity shenanigans into unfortunate Amoonguss. Wow.